Disclaimer, this podcast discusses mental health. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you're struggling with your mental health, please remember it's okay to ask for help and seek the appropriate help through a qualified healthcare professional. Welcome back to the podcast where we ask the question, what makes you happy? My name is Jake Pearson, and today we have with us the author of The Divine Language of Coincidence, How Miracles Transformed My Life After I Began Paying Attention, who writes about the many miracles they've experienced since they were of 19 years of age. We have Sophia Demas from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, United States. Sophia, how are you?
Oh, I'm great, and I thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. Tell me, Sophia, what does make you happy?
Well, this is not clear cut because there are many things that make me happy. But I feel like I was very fortunate when I was in high school that one day I found myself having my favorite dessert, which was a piece of fudge cake with a hole in it with vanilla ice cream, hot fudge, and whipping cream on top. And I was having like an orgasm eating this. And I stopped and I thought, I am so happy. This makes me so happy. And I thought, well, if my life is like this, where I can find happiness in small things, how lucky can I get? And that was a seed that was sown at a very young age.
It's very uncommon actually that seed has been sown at such a young age, because I don't know a lot of people that really can just be grateful for really those little things and find a lot of joy in those little things. What do you think it was? Did you think there was something like a lead up to that kind of made you just have that moment? Was there a few things before that sort of built to that?
What I'm convinced of is that happiness is an evolution. Okay, so what made me happy, I'm 70 right now, and I can tell you what made me happy when I was 30 no longer makes me happy. I mean, it was material. I was very materialistic. I saw that there was a shelter issue in the world, that some people had no place to live, and it was this trying to solve that problem, and working in that direction started to make me happier than something like designing a beautiful building. Okay, so then I went very far from beauty and was designing biotechnology laboratories. So I quit architecture and started my fashion design business. So all I wanted to do was design beautiful dresses. Well, that got boring really quick, because if you put a burlap bag on a beautiful woman, she's still beautiful. So it was the problem figure, the large woman, the pregnant woman, and that's what put me on the map. And then I went back and got my master's in counseling psychology, because now I wanted to help women at risk. And I helped, my program was piloted here in the Philadelphia prison system, and it was, I did it with the ex-homeless women, ex-trafficked women. So all of a sudden I am getting this fulfillment, this happiness to know that I'm helping these other women. And so that, I think, just kind of describes the evolution of how happiness what makes you happy can change through time.
So what would you say to our listeners who are struggling to find happiness in their lives?
What I would like to say to them is that to trust that the universe, divine intelligence, God, however you want to call it, truly wants us to be happy. So this divine intelligence knows better than us what is best for us. So we could think we want to be happy, getting a red Ferrari, but that's going to end up killing us. The universe will make it difficult for you to get that red Ferrari. But the more you trust the universe, the more the universe will communicate with you so that you are truly happy, even if it's not what you think.
Wonderfully said. Absolutely. Sophia, thank you so much for sharing everything that makes you happy. We really appreciate your time and your happiness on this podcast episode. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope it gives you something to think about on your quest to discover what makes you happy. Make sure to check out whatmakesyouhappypodcast.com to connect with today's guest and follow us on all our social media platforms and to stay up to date at what's happening next at What Makes You Happy. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend, and we'll see you next time.